I'm on my way to WWDC. That is Apple's worldwide developer conference. This is where they announce the next version of iOS, macOS, iPadOS, tvOS typically. Like, this is where the big OS updates typically happen. So I'm really excited. This is my first in-person Apple event. I'm just, honestly, I'm excited to go on a trip again. I'm excited to be invited to these Apple events. I'm excited, if you can't tell. So I'm only a few hours drive away from Apple Park, so I'm just gonna drive up there, not gonna fly or anything like that. I just stopped, gassed up, got snacks, beef jerky, Diet Coke. Road trips are not meant for eating healthy. But yeah, I'm excited. So let's go ahead and drive on up there. Hey, so I made it. Right behind me is the Apple Park Visitor Center. It's still Saturday, so WWDC, the keynote, is a couple days away still. But I wanted to get here early, set up. I'm meeting a few people. I'm just genuinely excited. But yeah, I'm here. This place is nice. Like, it's really cool. I have a couple of hours before I need to check into my hotel, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of work here. So I left the Apple Park Visitor Center because there's just a lot of people showing up, and it was kind of like awkward to film there. I honestly wanted to film this whole video there, but it was just, there's too many people, and I don't know, I feel weird filming in public still. I've been doing YouTube for so long, but honestly, a majority of that, I've been in an office by myself, so. But I want to go through what I want to see at the WWDC keynote. So as I'm recording this, it's Saturday, June 4th. This video will be released on Sunday. The keynote is on Monday, June 6th, 10 a.m. Pacific. And this is typically, like I mentioned, where Apple announces their next big OS updates and stuff like that. So I have a list of stuff right here on my iPad that I would like to see. It's not necessarily stuff we're guaranteed to see or stuff it's even rumored to see, but stuff that me as a user, I honestly feel would be nice to see. So the first thing I would like to see is iPadOS multitasking improvements and external monitor support. I feel these two things honestly go hand in hand. Like, if you're gonna do one, the other one has to go, because I don't feel we can get external monitor support without a rethink of multitasking, because what are they gonna do? Give us external monitor support, hook these things up to a 27-inch monitor and just be able to put two apps side by side? I think that would be kind of pointless. So multitasking improvements, it could be something like windowing or complete rethink. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not a UX designer, but I just know as somebody that uses the iPad, I feel these two things have to go hand in hand. I also think it's time for the iPad to grow beyond just having two apps in split view and then an app in slide over. These iPads are as powerful as Macs now. It has the same processor, same GPU. So there's no reason why we can't have a bunch of apps open at the same time. Alongside that, that would also include better background app support. So right now, if I'm exporting video on Final Cut on a Mac, I can just leave Final Cut open in the background and start doing other things and not have to worry about it crashing or not finishing that export or something like that. On the iPad, if I'm exporting a video in LumaFusion, you know I have to just keep LumaFusion open in the foreground, and I can't really do anything else. Now, theoretically, if you have a short video, you should be able to close LumaFusion and do something else, but I never found that to be the case. Like, I never found that to actually work properly. So speaking of that, the next thing I would like to see is pro-creative apps. Again, this shouldn't be a surprise. Last year, we got Swift Playgrounds, an update to Swift Playgrounds that allowed developers to write apps start to finish from the iPad. You can publish right to the App Store from the iPad, but it is very limited. You can't even do things like in-app purchases and stuff like that. So it's time for that to get updated, but also it's time for Apple to bring their creative stuff. Final Cut, Logic, and even down the road, I honestly believe Motion and Compressor as well. I don't think those all have to happen at the same time. They can be rolled out. I don't even think those need to be like one-to-one features with their Mac counterparts. Like feature updates can come. But you know, if I had the basics of Final Cut plus some bells and whistles, that would be pretty great. Final Cut is a really good application for the way I edit. And honestly, Apple makes these devices called iPad Pros. Now, I know they use Pro as a marketing term, but I truly believe if you're going to call a device Pro, you need to be able to back it up, not just on the hardware side, but on the software side as well. This video is sponsored by Paperlike. Paperlike is one of my favorite iPad accessories. It's on my iPad Pro, it's on the iPad Air I've been using, it's on all the iPads. What it is it's a matte screen protector, but it has this texture. So when you're using the Apple Pencil and you're writing on the iPad, like this, it feels like you're using a pencil and a piece of paper, or a pen and a piece of paper. You have that textured feedback that I personally really like. Now, even if you don't use the Apple Pencil, you can still get benefits from the Paperlike. So it's a matte screen protector. So if you have a big light like what I do right here, or you got sunlight coming in, on a glossy screen, it can be hard because it's reflective. It can be really hard to see the screen because of that reflection. A matte screen protector cuts down on that reflection. I really like the Paperlike. It's got multiple applications for the way I use my iPad. I will put a link to it in the description below where you can check it out. My thanks to Paperlike for sponsoring this video. Then there is backups. Now, this could be, I've been calling this in the past time machine, but this could be something completely different. But right now, the only way to do a backup of an iOS device, iPad, whatever, is to back up the image of that device to iCloud. Meaning, if you want to restore it, you have to wipe your device and then restore from iCloud. Not a big deal if you lose your device or get a new iPhone or something like that. Like, if something breaks, that's great. But if you want to restore like a particular file or folder, there isn't really a good way to do that. So I would like to see some kind of time machine backup. Now, this could be a rethink of it. Apple could take advantage of that iCloud storage space people pay for. I personally have 2 terabytes of iCloud storage space, and I'm not using all of it. So I could back up my iPad to that. That would be pretty cool. Or it could be external drive support or NAS support like it is on the Mac. That would be awesome as well. Then there's the Files app. Files was introduced in iPadOS 13, technically iOS 12 as iCloud Drive, but iPadOS 13 was the first introduction of Files, and it has gotten incrementally better every year, especially stability-wise. Like, it is a lot better than what it was in the iPadOS 13 days. But it's just not quite there. And honestly, I think it's time for a big rethink of Files, and basically a time to take what is really great about Finder on the Mac and bring it to the iPad, because Finder is just a solid file explorer. Like, it is really good, and I think there's just a lot of really good stuff in there that they could bring to Files on the iPad and the iPhone. Then there's interactive widgets. So 2 years ago, we got the new style of widgets, which is based around Swift UI, and they all look really nice. But the issue is they're not interactive. If you tap on them, it launches the app, and then it can do a task. But the old style of widgets, it used to be able to, like, say you had a task manager. You used to be able to check the box, and it would mark a task as complete. You wouldn't have to then open the app and mark the task as complete. And I really think it's time for widgets to become interactive on the iPhone and the iPad, and even the Mac, because those are the same widgets on the Mac. Then there is a system-wide Clipboard Manager and Snippet Manager. Honestly, I don't know why iOS and iPadOS don't have this already. There are so many apps on the App Store that do clipboard management and snippet management, but because of the rules and regulations of the App Store, they can't do it properly. Really, we're waiting on Apple to either change those rules or give us a system-wide clipboard manager and snippet manager also. And it could be something that just worked through Spotlight. Like, it doesn't need to be a dedicated app. It could be like a Spotlight feature. So one of those two things I hope changes, whether it's App Store rules or Apple just gives us a first-party clipboard and snippet manager. The next one, actually, like, honestly, I'd just been dealing with it and hadn't really thought about it. But then I saw my friend Matt Birchler complain about it on Twitter the other day, and it's a better way to install fonts. Right now, to install fonts, I've talked about it. Like, you have to have this third-party app and install a profile. It's a mess. And then Apple tried to give us this way to install fonts like legitimately without profiles a few years ago, but nobody adopted it because it's very, very like cumbersome for the developers. Like, there's not really a good way for you to buy fonts or anything through. It's kind of just a big old mess. So honestly, at the end of the day, just give us Fontbook. Fontbook is on the Mac. You drag and drop font files right into it and it installs system-wide. You can use it in any app. Let's just make it simple and just do it that way. It would just be so much easier for everyone across the board. That's kind of it for my wish list. Let me know what you guys want to see in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will be here at WWDC until Thursday this week. So if you were here, be sure to say hi. I'm just gonna be making videos and meeting up with some people. I'm super excited to be here, and it's gonna be a good time. If you guys have any questions about anything, let me know in the comments below. And of course, I will be covering what was announced as quickly as possible. Have a great day.